Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Oh, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday to all across the Delaware Valley. This is the Anthony Gargano Show presented by TrueMark Financial Credit Union, TrueMark.com/PHLY for the credit union difference. Yes. It is it's a Phillies Wednesday because tomorrow, something's up on the screen. Tomorrow it is opening day down in Washington. So we cannot wait for a little opening day Phillies baseball, 4:05 Eastern time. The Fighting Phillies of 2025. So it got me thinking, right? All right. Because we're going to do heavy fills over the next couple days. My favorite seasons. What are my favorite seasons? Because I'm thinking we embark on a new campaign, and I know that people go, all right, well, fast forward to October. Let's see if this team can finally win a World Series. Where's the window at? Baseball is not meant to be fast forwarded. You can't press the FF button. You can't do it. You can't go arrow and it goes. You got to enjoy it, or else you don't get anything out of it. And I know after the last season started out great, people were all into it, and it was weird. It was the weirdest thing. I had never seen the ballpark that raucous and that emotional in May. But April, May, and June in these parts were unbelievable. And, of course, we flamed out. I think we flamed out as a fan base and obviously on the field. They flamed out. But last year's mantra was, let's not get off to a slow start, right? Like that was the mantra. Can't get off to a slow start. Got to go do a quick start. And they did. They had the best record in baseball. They were rolling. And then, of course, they peaked. And second half of the season was kind of a limp to the finish. And then we know what happened in the playoffs. Baseball's a game of momentum. So we'll see. I just don't want people to be like, let's fast forward. And I hear it already. Oh, October, what does it mean? We question the meaning of the regular season. During these times, and we have done it during the Andy Reid era, we did it with the Eagles. All right, let's get to January and then February. And then we did it to Sixers. All right, let's get to April. And then we do it to Phillies. And what you do is, it's just not healthy as a sports fan. Just try to enjoy it. Let it play out. Let's see what happens. I know the Dodgers are great. All right, well, baseball, sometimes the best team doesn't win. In fact, more often than not, the best team doesn't always win. So give it a moment to breathe. And tomorrow, when you approach opening day, try to embrace it. And try to embrace the season. I just think you get more out of it. And look, I know you're a fan. I know you love it. Well, you had a World Series, Super Bowls, finals, cups, right? We get it. But sometimes just enjoy the sport itself for what it is. I think you get a lot more out of it when you approach it that way. All right, so I got my list of my favorite seasons. You ready? My favorite seasons, I go number 10. We're coming up on the 50-year anniversary. I was a little boy. But I remember because the town was crazy. And the Phillies were playing the Big Red Machine Cincinnati Reds. 1976. Number 9. All right, let me bring VG in here while I do this.
1976.
My favorite seasons.
Oh, my God.
I gave my 10.
I'm going to need your help. You're going to have to walk me through this because, my long-term memory is not great.
This is your brain on drugs.
Yes. Hey, here. So if you spark my memory, I'll be like, yes.
Okay.
All right.
It's the top 10.
1976.
Top 10.
Big Red Machine.
First time they were in the playoffs. I mean, now I can look back on it as a historian.
Yeah.
I'm more of a historian than anything else.
All right.
So, I mean, do I remember that season? No. I mean, I was a little
but it
bored,
has some meaning. I mean,
but it's got,
Yeah.
So they played the Reds. It was the first time they were in the playoffs. It was when the beginning of that run of Boa, Schmitty, Lazinski, right?
All right, yep.
That crew, Manny Trio, and all those guys, right? So
101 games that
Gary
year.
Maddox,
Woo.
yeah, and they were a great team. So number 9, I remember.
Now I know why you like it. The
What?
farm director. Do you know who the farm director was on that squad?
No.
Oh, William Gargano.
Oh,
What?
okay. So there was the Phillies had a Bill Gargano
Yeah.
forever, right? And he's a distant relative.
Is he?
Yeah.
Nice.
and yeah, no, it's the truth. And so, like years ago, when I first came on the scene as a young journalist, the Phillies crew were all like, "Oh, we have Bill Gargano was one of the great guys. You related?" And I'm like, "I think so." And I asked my father, and it's like, "Yeah, there's some sort of connection of the Garganos." It's not like that's not a popular name. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of Garganos.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bill was the farm director.
Nice. Good attendance that
I
year.
wish that I was either born earlier or he was later, or else I
So
would
you
have.
could have crossed paths with him.
I would have had a job. You kidding me?
That was a good year for attendance. Phil's finished second in the National League, 2.4 mil.
The vet.
Yeah.
The vet was rocking.
That's rocking.
The vet was rocking. All right. Number 9, I go 2010. The 2010 Phillies. That was the Raul Ibanez. They lost to the Giants in the NL. What was it? Was it Division Series or CS? I think it was Division Series. Or maybe it was the championship series. That was Cody Ross.
Oh.
You remember that? Going bananas.
Cody Ross.
Right? Like, that team was a great team, the Phillies team.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame, right? That was one of the good ones. Cliff Lee was fantastic, right?
Yep.
The whole thing. No, that was Doc. They had gotten Cliff Lee back.
Roy, Doc.
Yeah.
Cole.
Yeah.
The Vanimal.
Oh, Vanimal was 2010. Yeah.
Vanimal's 11-3. Oh, no, I'm in 2011. Let me get to 2010.
Yeah. It's just 2010.
Vanimal was 2011. 2010.
In fact, I was going to have the Vanimal on the show.
I love that, the Vanimal.
Yeah. I got to tell him. that.
2010. Oh, that's what you got. Kyle Kendrick in with the
Kendrick, yeah.
Holiday Hamels.
He was following around Doc like a puppy dog.
I remember like 5:30 a.m. He was in there.
All right, so that's number 9.
All right.
Number 8 is 77. Right, Phillies Dodgers.
Good year.
Of course, was Black Friday. Right, you were born in 77. No,
No way.
I know. I'm just joking. That was Black Friday. That was the rain game, like the whole thing.
Wow.
What?
What is Black Friday in the rain game?
What's Black Friday?
Yeah.
You don't know Black Friday?
In 1977?
Yeah, against the Dodgers.
No.
It was a Friday afternoon. It was the Lazinski, Jerry Martin. This doesn't ring a bell?
No.
Oh my God! What?
I mean, I'm 6 at this point.
No! We're the same age, you and I. No, I don't want to hear you got to know Black Friday.
What happened on Black Friday?
So they blew the game.
No. I don't have any recollection of this.
Have you heard about Black Friday?
I'm just listening. I'm learning today.
Johnny Mark, you know about Black Friday?
You might know
Johnny
about Black
Marks,
Friday.
Come here. I got a major violation on Greg, not you. VG, if I say to you Black Friday, what do you say?
After Thanksgiving.
Right.
I know the answer you're looking for. It's the Phillies Dodgers.
Okay. He knows. That's a violation. You don't know Black Friday.
Hey, I'll know
How
it.
do you know? That's horrible.
Greg Luzinski, they didn't make the defensive switch. What's
Jerry
older
Martin.
than me?
bad.
How do you not know that?
Bad.
Exactly. Johnny Marks, this is an ultimate violation. He makes himself to be Mr. Phillies, and he doesn't know Black Friday.
This is bad parenting. My parents should have me watching the TV. I was 6 at that point. I should have been watching
Yeah,
the
but
TV.
I wasn't alive. I don't remember it.
Exactly.
He never leaves the house. I'm out doing these.
This
He's
was
all reading
when-
stuff, never leaves the house.
When you grow up a Phillies fan, that was, and thank God they got over the hump and they won the World Series in 1980. They're the best team in baseball that couldn't win it. And they lose to the Dodgers, and that was the second straight year, or they lost the year after
7
that?
8. They
I
lost
must
the
have blacked
Dodgers.
this out. I blacked Black Friday out. I was too painful for me.
And
to
remember first base, the play Manny Mota.
Oh, Manny Mota. Baby Los was a Philly, and he still fought against it for years. F him.
Yes.
I got to go. I'm already running late.
Bye, Johnny Marks. I can't believe you don't. I know. I'm so bummed out.
Sorry, brother. Happens. Get used to it. I'm a man of disappointment.
Oh my God! Not no Black Friday. God forbid. All right.
Ray from Philly saying it's the worst day in Philly's history.
Yeah, it was. All right. Wow. All right. 1980. You have no memory. How much drugs did you do?
When I was 6, none. It started like 14.
Oh my God.
14. Yeah.
Do not do drugs, please.
Especially at 14.
Yes, I do not condone that at
He's
all.
lobotomized himself.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
I was a fan of Richie Hebner though. He was first baseman. He was like my idol when I was like playing first base.
What
back
did
in the
Richie
day.
Hebner
I
do?
don't know.
No. What did he do in the off season? And it was part of his nickname.
Was he a mover?
No, it was part of his nickname. He had done it a couple years.
I don't know.
The grave digger. He was a grave digger.
Grave digger.
What this kind of what is wrong with this world?
Dude, I need you to come to Quizzo Bowl when we play. We need
you'd
someone
win
with all
every
this
game.
minute. We need 1 or 2 sports questions. We need you to show up.
These are well-known facts. Number 7, 1983, the Wheeze Kids.
That's when they played the Rangers in the World Series. I know. It's the Orioles.
All right.
I know.
My God. Who pitched against them and befuddled them with that? It was like a knuckle curve.
I don't know. Jim Palmer?
Mike Boddicker.
Mike Boddicker.
1983 Wheeze Kids. Who are the Wheeze Kids?
It's got to be the core, right? The old heads?
Well, who were they?
Boa? That group?
No. The Wheeze Kids.
Pete Rose?
Yes.
Carlton?
No. The position players from the
Joe Morgan?
Yes.
Avante Jesus? Is he on that team?
Tony Perez.
Oh, Tony Perez. Of course. Oh, Joe LaFay? Joe LaFever?
No.
LaFever.
That's the second day in a row Joe LaFay's name came up. Remember, I brought it up yesterday when you asked me who the French guy was.
Oh, that's
I
right.
mentioned Joe LaFay. 2009 is my number 6. And that, of course, Phillies Yankees World Series. And that was who was the man of that World Series?
Cliff Lee.
No.
Didn't he have the casual catch in that
Chase Utley. Yes, he did. But Chase Utley was the man.
one? All right. Is that what that's the play You Are the Man? That was that year?
No.
Oh.
My God, dude.
Paul Bacco? He's on that squad?
1983 is number 5.
Did we just do 83?
No, what are you talking about? 1993 was number 5.
Oh, 93. All right. Yeah.
And then I got 2011. That was 1-0, lost to the Cardinals. It was the great year. They won all those games. Doc, the 4 aces. It was incredible.
Farm director that year was Benny Looper.
I like it. You're going through Baseball Reference.
I gotta. That was a big year at Ross.
I mean, is he just?
That was a big year at Ross Glode.
I remember
One of the worst names.
Yeah, Ross Glode. He's a Glode. 2022 would be my 3rd favorite season.
All right, World Series.
I mean, that was
Bummer.
great with the song.
I hate the Astros. It was fun with the song.
It was a great
You
run.
know, the Padres. Like, that was a great year.
Yeah.
Beat the Braves.
Yeah.
Get in against the Cardinals. Right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that year was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a fun year. Number 2, 1980.
Yeah.
Right? And the number 1, 2008 Phillies.
Dude, I
World bleeping champions.
I had a moment this morning because this came up 2008 this morning on the show I was watching. It's 17 years ago. And I was like, wow, feels like not that long ago.
Yeah.
How old are we going to be in 17 years? That quick it went by.
Shut up. What's wrong with you?
I'm going to be like
drugs.
72. And that same amount of quickness, I'm going to be 72.
All right,
It's crazy.
Just please. All right. I got enough worries.
You
on
put
my
the
mind.
icing on the cake
I
this
just want
morning.
to watch. I just want to watch sports, man. I you know.
It rattled me this morning.
Okay. All right. We're having a meltdown live.
I'd be like 50.
Yeah, dude, you could be like 50.
All right, dude. Just enough.
You can only dream to be like this when you're 50.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, he's got no brain cells left, so you at least
Maybe more you than him.
You want to preserve brain cells.
Yes.
All right. My God.
I'm not great at history. Not great at all at history.
Yeah, but there's
Man
certain
lives in
things.
the moment.
Matt Gelb is much younger than us,
Yes.
and I wonder if Matt Gelb knows Black Friday.
Of course he's probably written 4,000 words on it.
You should have known Black Friday.
I'll do a book report on Black Friday.
I want to do tomorrow.
I'll do a book
First
report.
thing, dude. Do tomorrow. Anyway, I'm excited for Phillies baseball.
Dude, I
Cannot
am
wait.
too. And I came across this right one of the first things I saw on Twitter this morning. Oh my God. It tackles what you've been saying. Where is it? Destiny Legardo on Twitter. I was very excited for baseball, but then I was told that the Phillies were already eliminated from the postseason. What a bummer. See you guys next year. Who puts that out?
Who's Destiny Legardo?
I don't know. Just someone who came up on my algorithm.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Terrible, right?
Terrible. I don't get this whole thing.
I don't either.
I brought this up with Mike Sealski yesterday, who we love, and I said, "Don't you go through seasons and don't you miss the sport?"
Yeah.
Like when baseball comes back, I spend like hours watching baseball. Like,
and I love the nightly show on MLB Network.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
it's a great show.
and they always give you like the package for free, whatever you have it early.
Mhm.
Like you watch a game.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome, man.
Totally with you, 100%.
You know, but I don't know. It's really quiet. Like, listen, we're all excited and happy about the Super Bowl, but it's a memory. Like, all right, like sports for me is like I could celebrate it from time to time until kickoff of this season, but like I mean, it's not going to. It doesn't keep you warm at night in that sense.
It's
like,
still a little toasty from it.
yeah, but it's you need a game. I don't know. Sports is like now. Like I can think about it, enjoy it,
Yeah,
but all right, what's the next game?
I get you. It's tiresome trying to find something to watch when you're at home. I totally get that. I would just love to know.
I don't know.
It's going to be great. Phils are on every night. Boom.
Yeah,
And they're competitive. And they're one of the 4 best teams in baseball.
well,
and we're gonna have a
just
ride.
Enjoy it, man. Enjoy the thing.
They're not even a middling team. They're
No,
the
exactly.
upper echelon. Every
like
national,
we talk about this. Yeah, every
every
national
national
team,
prediction you have has the
Phillies winning the
Phillies.
World Series.
Yeah, we're right there.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the attitude, man.
Yep.
All right, let's take care of some business. Talk about some of our friends. All right, let's talk about Parks Casino, Street Road, Ben Salem, and the Bet Parks Sportsbook online casino app. Bet Parks. Listen, it's going to be incredible. Bet Parks. Like this
Tomorrow, I'm
weekend,
going to be on that site all day.
Right.
We got baseball in the tournament.
Yeah, the tournament.
Be a betting maniac on Bet Park.
You got the tournament and baseball. You have the
Pulling up the stuff now.
yeah. Look, I'm curious to see what the Phillies are. They were, I think you said 165.
They're a pretty healthy favorite, yeah. But baseball's great. There's so many parlays you could do. So many just base hits, strikeouts. Let's see, Phillies are minus 175.
Wow, went up.
Run line it.
-1 was it 1.5? What's that payout?
Well, if you do run line, it's plus 105.
All right.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. You got
Because
it.
the Phils have been dominating the Nationals over the last 3 years. They used to be a pain in the rear end, but no, the last 3 years they've been dominating the Nationals.
Okay. All right. Anyway, check out the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. All the games. We'll talk to the brain later. I have some baseball picks for you. We'll talk about, obviously the tournament and all those games. It's right there for you. And while you're watching all the games, don't forget the casino, all your favorite live dealer, blackjack, roulette, poker. I mean, they got it all. And all the slots. You got Peaky Blinders and Rocky and all your streaming shows. Unbelievable. All the stuff they got. Move Ted.
Squid Games.
Yeah, they got it all.
Capital Games. Cats. I'm back on Cats last night.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cash Eruption. It's your favorite.
Cash Eruption's nice.
Yeah, he's Cash Eruption.
Flaming fireballs come down.
That's him.
Yeah.
He loves it. Check it all out. You got to be, just remember, in fact, new customers get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Just remember, you got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right. If you've got a home, you've probably got some home repairs to make. And if you're like me, they give you the bejesus. They scare the bejesus out of you because home repairs, I am not handy. I can screw a screw, and that's about it. So Ace Hardware Home Services, they're here to help you out. You got a leaky pipe? Ace Hardware Home Services, they're in your neighborhood, around the block with everything you need to fix it. And more importantly, they got the right people to do the job. You got an air conditioning issue? Better get it checked out now because the heat is coming. I think we're going 77 on Saturday. Well, Ace Hardware Home Services, they got people for that. Faucet you fixed last fall, they got the people for that too because they're not just the helpful hardware folks these days. Nope, they're the helpful home service and repair folks coming right to your door from plumbing to heating and cooling. They got trusted pros to keep your house humming all year long. Ace Hardware Home Services, they're bringing the helpful home, the helpful that you love from the store right now to your front door. So visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at www.acehardwarehomeservices.com to get you started on your next project and take your worry and stress out of it.
All right. There it is. Let's time and talk some Phillies baseball.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a guy does a great job covering baseball, covering the Phillies.
Agree.
From The Athletic. He's terrific. Let's welcome our old friend, Matt Gelb. Matty!
What's up, guys?
Oh, Matt.
What you doing, buddy? Let me ask you this.
Oh, boy.
All right? You're how old? 32?
You're way under.
You're what, 38?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you look young. So I got to
It's
give
too
you a
early
compliment,
to flatter
man.
me.
So do you know, you're 38 years old. Do you know Black Friday?
Yes.
What happened on Black Friday?
Drop fly ball in left field. Phillies lose the series.
So my man next to me, who's 50, who says that he is a major Phillies fan, had no concept of Black Friday. Is that not a violation?
Given the age, I would say yes, a violation.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a
I don't
violation.
know. I don't know enough of the details. I mean, I know what Black Friday was, but it's funny because you talk about that era, Anthony, and like that was a team that was good for a bunch of years, was contending, didn't get over the top, right? And everyone's like, "Oh, are they ever going to do it? They're not going to do it." And then they did it in 1980. I mean, that was probably not 1980. That might not have been the best team of that run.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, you're right. And in fact, remember, they fire Ozark, and you know how the story goes. I mean, you don't remember it, but how the story goes. And Dallas Green comes in and lights a fire. But they're better teams. When they won 100 in 77, they won over 100 games. I mean, when they topped the record in 2011, they beat the 77 record.
So I think what we remember the most recent run, right? Where the Phillies go to the World Series in 08. They lose the World Series in 09. They lose the NLCS in 2010. They lose in the Division Series in 2011. And people see that now, and it's like, well, the same thing's happening. I mean, every year they've taken a step back, and it's like, I understand that, and I get, I think I understand why there's some people who are not maybe as excited about this team as in previous years, but I think it's a good team. And everyone's like, well, the Braves and the Mets got better. They did. They definitely did. I kind of think the Phillies got a little better. Like, I think we're overlooking the Jesus Luzardo acquisition. I think he's going to be really good for them. I think it's going to be hard for their outfield to be worse. I don't think it's going to be good, but I don't think it's going to be worse. And honestly, like I keep wanting to shout this to the mountaintops, and I get it. Like there's enough people who have fatigue because we've been talking about this guy for 2 years. Nobody's really seen him pitch. But Andrew Painter is their best pitching prospect since Cole Hamels, and he is their best right-handed pitching prospect since I don't know when. I mean, it's been decades. Like he's that good. He checks every box, and no, he's not going to be up until the summertime. But I think this guy could be a difference maker for this team. Honestly, I really do.
Preach! Oh my God, bless you, brother. You are exactly where I'm at. Exactly.
Now that said, like I understand the reasons to be skeptical. I mean, the team is older; they're not any younger, and like there are certain pitfalls to this roster. I think they're a little short in the bullpen. I think the back of the rotation, like Ranger Suarez, like there's got to be some skepticism. The outfield is not going to be good.
Right.
Can these guys take a step forward? I mean, I understand the skepticism. I get it. But all that said, and I heard what you guys were just talking about, nationally, this is regarded as one of the best teams in baseball.
And here's my argument, right, too, is that in baseball, look, the Dodgers are great. Like, no doubt about it. I mean, obviously, they're a ridiculous team on paper. But baseball is a game where come the playoffs, you don't know, man. You got to, it's almost spin a wheel. Like who's playing hot? Who's playing good baseball? Who's healthy? What arms are available? Like so much happens during the course of a year that the playoffs are more of a crapshoot than any other sport. Because like how many times have we seen, you're right, 2008 was not their best team and they won. Right? Like they won with Jamie Moyer as the number 2. I mean, think about that. Joe Bland, like they won that year. You don't know. And the Yankees, who were great, lost to Tampa, who were okay, right? Like they got hot. It's a series. It's baseball. So you don't know. And my only advice to people is don't fast forward the season. Baseball needs to take time to just envelop you. Like it just... You it's one day at a time. You just enjoy it. It's a fun companion. And when you have a good team, it's a gift.
Yeah, and I'm thinking back to 2011, right, which was their best team, the best team I've ever covered.
Yeah.
And every night that they went out there, they thought they were going to win. And that's because they had a starting pitcher going that night that was legit. And I know they're opening with Walker in the rotation. That's frustrating people, and I get that. But they're not going into the season banking on Talon Walker making 32 starts for them. That's the difference between this year and last year. Is that when Suarez is back, and now you're saying, okay, I've got Wheeler, Sanchez, who's their number 2? Let's be real, okay? Nola, Luzardo, and Suarez. If I'm turning on the game every night, they have a chance to win. Like seriously, I mean that's 5 really good pitchers. I mean Suarez is your 5. Like he could be a 3 when he's right. He could be maybe better than that. But I think that's the comparison I'm making. Is that 2011 team? I don't know if they're that good, this team, as that team. But you feel like when you're turning in and it's June or August or it's April, you're like, okay, like I'm going to sit down and I know that they're going to have a shot to win and I'm going to be entertained.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. The way Dombrowski's positioned it is he's got Painter, like you said, right? And he's scheduled to come in over the summer. And then you'll go do your deadline. Like if you have an issue in the outfield and you're like, I really need a right-handed power bat. Well, you can get a right-handed power bat in the outfield, a veteran guy that could swing a stick. Like that's not a difficult task to attain. And you might need a bullpen arm here or there. You might have that. You have to see about Sanchez, like you said, like with Suarez, like you said. But I mean, I'd rather position it that way and go get what I need to jolt me because it is like a horse race. And if you get that bat come July, that'll help you.
Yeah, I mean, the Max Kepler thing in left field is, he had a great spring. I don't know what he's going to be this year, but it is still, to me, a weird fit, right? Because he's a left-handed hitter. And I think they looked at the available right-handed bats, and Teoscar Hernandez was a guy they liked, but he was only going to go either to the Dodgers or the Red Sox, basically. And the other right-handed bats, I don't think they were really that high on Jerks and Profar, who's going to end up leading off for the Braves to start the season. And he had a great year. Let's see what he does this year. And so, yeah, like right-handed bat would have fit better in this lineup, just given how you start kind of figure out what the batting order is going to be, it's like they're really lefty heavy, and they're going to see a ton of left-handed starters this year. Like teams are going to line up, like the Nats are starting their 5th starter in the 3rd game of the series because he's left-handed.
Yeah.
And so they're going to see a lot of lefty stars this year. And so we'll see. You're right. I mean, come trade deadline, like, can they go find a right-handed bat they couldn't find? Even just a complimentary guy that they couldn't find in the offseason? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, every team right now, apparently, from what I've talked to people, is that they're looking for right-handed bats. Apparently, this is like, there's not enough right-handed bats to go around, at least right now.
So let me ask you a question. What's the vibe with the lineup? Like you're down there. We've spent so much time talking about, and it feels like Topper's just going to go, kind of play it with matchup. One day it'll be Turner, or 2 days it'll be Turner. One day it'll be back to Schwarber. Is that kind of how you see it?
I do. I mean, I think they're going to tinker with it to start the season, and I think the vibe is kind of an unknown. I think most of those guys, you have an established group of hitters, they like to know where they're going to hit every day. And I don't know if that's a luxury that they've been afforded, right? Okay, there's only so many teams that have a set lineup for every single day, no matter what. And honestly, I mean, I don't even know if you could say there's a team that has that in 2025. The Braves have been that the last few years, but I don't know that they're going to be that this year. They will have some platoons. I think the difference this year with the Phillies is going to be that the personnel is not changing. The order might change given on a matchup. But Rob Thompson has said his 9 guys are pretty much his 9 guys to start the season. They're not platooning any outfield to start. Rojas will get a start here and there, but that's fine. Like if Marsh and Kepler are starting 5-6 days a week, that's an everyday player to me. So they're going to play around with the order, and against lefties, Turner will be at the top. Against righties, Schwarber will be at the top. And we'll see how these guys react to it. I mean, to me, batting order matters in so much as your guys are feeling comfortable. Like they are happy with where they're hitting. And I know you're not going to make every single guy happy. And I can assure you that on opening day, not every single guy is going to be happy about where he's hitting. So it's kind of a dance for the manager, right? He's trying to get the most production out of his lineup. He's also trying to make his guys happy and content and making sure that they're going to deliver for him.
It feels like to me it's a little unusual to have the leadoff hitter switching from game to game depending on the matchup. Is that a norm throughout the league, or it's pretty rare, right?
I would say it's pretty rare. I mean, it's hard now. Like teams, I mean, really, most teams are mixing and matching every day. There's so much matchup based lineup decisions that are being made, and typically they're being made not by the manager. They're being made by somebody upstairs who's telling the manager, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do." Phillies don't do that. It's not just lip service. I mean, Dave Dombrowski is pretty old school in that regard, in that the manager makes up his lineup. They'll talk about it, but he is not going to tell Rob Thompson, "Hey, this is who's hitting 6th today." And I can tell you that there's other teams where the front office is telling the manager, "This is who's hitting 6th today, and this is who's hitting 1st." So swapping out the leadoff hitter, a little unusual. I agree. I'd have to really go look at other rosters to see how many teams did it last year, but I'm going to guess that most teams in general had a guy who probably led off, 100 times last year, 90 times. So it is a little unusual. And I don't know that this is going to last for the whole season. It's possible that they get to a point where, a couple weeks in, they say, we like this arrangement best. And we're going to stick with it for now. Let's see what happens with it.
I like that they don't rely on the analytics people for the lineup. It's good.
Yes. It's
you need to have a feel.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what it should be.
Yeah.
Curious about what you see from Bohm, right? Because that number 3 spot when Turner's leading off is going to be key, right? So where's Bohm's head, and how's JT's health? What do you see from JT? Because that it was a big loss last year. He struggled, he was banged up, and that hurt that lineup a lot.
Yeah, and when you're looking at this lineup, I think the right-handed hitters are important because there's not a lot of them.
Exactly.
Right? So those
That's
righties
right.
in the middle have got to deliver. Bohm, to me, look, I mean, I don't know what we were going to get when we got to spring training. He could have reacted in a lot of different ways. Okay, he got benched in a playoff game. His name was in trade rumors all offseason. He could have come in and he could have been pouting, upset, kind of angry, and he wasn't. I don't know. I mean, I think there was a lot of questions how's he going to react? What's he going to say? What's he going to look like? Is he going to be upset? He wasn't. I mean, I thought he handled it really well. And I think his mindset going into this year is kind of screw the haters, which I think is a productive mindset for him. I don't know if, I don't know how much that will help him, but this guy carried them for the first 2 months last year, and the last 2 months were terrible, and the playoffs were bad. So I know that that's what we remember. But man, like I don't know. The thing with Bohm has always been, can he do it for a full season? But if you look at his lines, like he has steadily gotten better every year. And no, he's not a star, I think, that everybody thought he'd be when they picked him third, but he's gotten better every year. So I think you give him credit for that and you give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here to say, okay, if you get just a little better than you were last year, then you're going to be a really solid middle of the lineup hitter for us. Just be more consistent. Do it over 6 months.
I'm with you. And here's the thing. And here's what we know about Bohm, too. Everybody remembers the 3-error night, and I hate this bleeping place and the whole thing, right? And he got through that. He handled it perfectly, right? He got better. He improved. And he at the plate is one of the most professional hitters, right? He's got great plate coverage. I know he went through that slump, but I love his approach at the plate. His plate coverage is really good. I mean, I don't, look, with the power come, whatever. I do think at batting third, I think he should be able to flourish. He's got great patience at the plate. He's one of the few guys with patience. I think he's a good hitter, man. I think he could fill those shoes.
Right, and then with that opening day lineup against lefties, he will have Schwarber batting behind him, which he's going to see some pitches to hit. Yeah. I mean, he's going to see some pitches to hit. And then as far as JT goes, he wants to catch 120 games this year. I can tell you that. I mean, it's a contract year for JT. I know that he wants to be back here, but I also know that he cares about being a durable, everyday catcher who posts every day. And
wow.
I know that they've talked about wanting to manage it, and I think they'll try to, but I also think that he's tough to manage because I think he wants to play, and that's a great problem for a manager to have. He wants to play. Now, I think that they could do a better job managing him because I think we saw where let's say he gets an off day, he gets a game off, and they have an off day the next day, so he essentially gets 2 days off, right, back-to-back days off, and maybe it's anecdotal, maybe I'm just making this up, but it felt like he would be better after that. He would have a better swing, a little more bat speed. I think what JT has come to realize is that as a hitter, he is a different guy at this point in his career. He is not a power hitter anymore. That he's more of a gap-to-gap hitter. Okay. And I think that the days of being a 20 home run guy, maybe even the days of being a 15 home run guy, are probably gone. But I think he can be productive in different ways at the plate. And I think that's what they've asked him to kind of think about it a little differently.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, what happens with Miller and Crawford? How do they approach those two?
So Miller will start at AA. He'll be the shortstop at AA Reading to begin the season. I talked to a lot of people about his shortstop in the spring. I watched him, and Phillies people and other people from other organizations too, not just like the rose-colored glasses, are convinced that this guy can stay at shortstop. Now, is he going to be a great shortstop? Probably not. Is he going to be average shortstop? Maybe. And if you're an average shortstop and you got a little pop and hit for average, like you're a really good player in the major league. So I was impressed by his maturity. He's super young, like 2 years ago at this time, like he was in high school still. He's an impressive kid. And then Justin Crawford as well. He's going to start AAA, and it's an aggressive assignment. And I'm not talking to people about it. It's hard to tell why they did it, because some people are like, well, they're setting it up so that he can make his debut or he's going to come up at some point this year. Maybe. I don't know though. Like, I think more that's like, they just feel like he needs to be tested. Like he needs to see some adversity because they keep pushing him along. He's only 21 years old and he keeps hitting. And I think there are some changes that they would like to make with him because he hits a lot of balls on the ground. And if you watch a swing, it's not pretty all the time, but somehow he keeps hitting for a really high average, and he's got incredible talent. He's very skilled. I think there are some people in the organization, and I know some evaluators, some other organizations are like, that swing's just not going to play against major league pitching because there are too many holes, and he's just going to hit too many balls on the ground, and it's not going to work. And in modern baseball, hitting the ball on the ground is a bad thing, a really bad thing. Now, that said, he kind of has a skill set that reminds me of, like, let's say, like, I don't know, the early 90s, right? Or the late 80s, where it's like he's got the speed, he puts the ball in play. Like, maybe this is a skill set that can be valuable again in Major League Baseball. We'll see. I mean, I think they're kind of curious to see how he does against AAA pitching. If he has a little bit of struggles, I don't think they're going to panic. I think, in fact, that they would be okay with that, because maybe then it prompts him to just make a few little tweaks, and maybe it sets him up for more long-term success.
I like it.
Hey, man, like, I feel like the bullpen seems to be the one weakness. I mean, they got a lot of live big arms in there. How does this bullpen match up to the rest of the National League?
honestly, I can't change my opinion on the bullpen just based on the spring. But like, if Jose Alvarado is like anywhere near what he was this spring,
Right.
I mean, it changes the equation so much because now all of a sudden you've got really like four guys that you legitimately trust down there in any late inning situation: Alvarado, Romano, Strom, Kirkering, and again, I don't know how. I don't want to read too much into Jose Alvarado's spring, but like it was so good and so off the charts that you're like, what is this? And he struck out 20 guys in 9 innings, and his fastball sat 100. I mean, it was off the charts good. And I know that Alvarado has teased us before, but he's in better shape. There's reasons to believe where you're like, okay, like maybe he can do this for 6 months. He's very motivated. He wants that $9 million option for 2026. He wants it. I get it. It's a lot of money. So I think it's a pretty good motivating factor for him. So, I mean, the bullpen's definitely short in the middle. I think you can say that about every bullpen. It's like, well, you go look at another team, you're like, well, they're middle relievers. I don't know. I don't know if I trust anyone. You probably say that about the Phillies. Joe Ross is a guy who I think is going to get bigger spots, and he was up to 95, 96 in his last outing of the spring, which was encouraging because for most of the spring he was like 92, 93. You're like, is this guy like he's got to throw harder if you're going to want to use him in bigger spots. Um, you got Ruiz and Banks, who I think are very much like middle relievers, kind of guys that you're not trusting in big spots. And they just made this waiver claim, this guy Carlos Hernandez, who throws the ball really freaking hard but has no idea where it's going. So we'll see what happens with that. They have some ideas for him. They have a type, right? I mean, they very much have a type, and this guy is their type. So I agree. The bullpen seems a little short, and I think we'll see. But if Alvarado is like anywhere near the guy from the spring, the bullpen feels even better already.
Wow, I like it, my brother. Tell people what you got cooking. All right, like that you want to promote. Like because I love we love your work, man. You do such a great job covering this thing.
So I'm getting on the first train in the morning to DC tomorrow, and I'll be in DC for the weekend. I'll be writing about the series, and I just had a big story about Alec Bohm over at The Athletic that published yesterday, just about that offseason and sort of how he went to work and sort of how he approached things.
I love that.
Really just getting off of social media and just basically eliminating everyone from his world or his life that he didn't need to talk to, which was an interesting way to approach it. And he's got some good thoughts about it. Do a regular podcast every week. It's called Phillies Therapy with Paul Boye, my podcast partner. We have a lot of fun with it. A little nerdy sometimes, but I guess that's how we look at things.
It's the best, man. We love to nerd out, man. That's great.
And I've got a story coming up on Christopher Sanchez later this week, who I think, man, like this guy is unbelievable. The transformation he's made, and not even just from like 2 years ago to now, but like from the end of last year to now, this guy is throwing 97 now, like touching 98. I like talking to people from other teams who came in and saw the Phillies this spring. They're like, why aren't more people talking about this guy for Cy Young? And I was like, well, it's because it sounds crazy to say that Christopher Sanchez is a Cy Young candidate, but like this dude is like he's really impressive, and his dedication and like the stories about the work and what he did this offseason and like it's really impressive, just the mentality and the mindset he has right now.
How did he get added to his velo like that? That's rare,
he
man.
Gained a lot of weight. There's a good story behind it. You'll have to read it. I'm telling you, I can't.
I love it. No, I love it. That's a great tease, man.
Yeah.
We got to read this piece. We can't wait. That's good. That's good stuff, man. Brother, listen, it's so good talking to you. We'll be bugging you throughout the season. You do such great work. Keep it up, man. We love reading you.
Thank you, guys. Happy baseball. Enjoy opening day.
Happy baseball. It's back. Matty go. There he is.
By the way, on the Bet Parks, Christopher Sanchez is 30-1 for the Cy Young.
Do it.
I want to throw something on that.
Come on, man. Come on. I like it.
Yeah. Brain's ears just perked when you said that.
No, because Brain's an info guy. He's like Wall Street, right? Like in the movie Wall Street.
Yeah.
What is it? White Buffalo? What was the Blue Horseshoe? Blue Horseshoe likes Christopher Sanchez. And all of a sudden the Brain's going to come in and go, oh, I got 30-1. That's good. It's good value. It's good value. He's in. Speaking of the Brain, let's talk some baseball with the Brain.
Brain. Red, the Brain Finder.
What's up there, Brain? Blue Horseshoe likes Chris Sanchez.
Yeah, well, I took him in some of my fantasy leagues, so do I. So, yeah, all the information seems terrific on him. upcoming this year. So yeah, 30-1 actually not high enough for me personally for the Cy Young because there's so many good candidates, but I think he's gonna have a really good year. I really, really do.
How
He
many
could be the best
fantasy
Philly
leagues are you
starter.
in?
How many baseball fantasy leagues are you in?
Not a ton, believe it or not. Like I do, it's for me, it's football. I do a zillion. Baseball, I do. How much do I do? I do 1, 2, 3, only 4,
Okay.
only 4. So
All right.
nothing obscene,
All right.
unfortunately.
There's a nice blue light behind you. Is that the sun
That's
rising?
the sun rising. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sun rising. There's also me rising, and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. But
Oh, late night.
You had a good night last night.
yeah, it's always a good night here in Aspen. Always a good night, my friend.
I wouldn't
Always a good
know.
night. But I was up late though, trying to get back, and I'm just doing like all my bets for today, and so I'm basically working on no sleep. So I'm doing these bets at 2 a.m. I'm doing this for 2 hours because I'm just mentally ill doing this stuff. I can't help myself. So that's what I was doing all last night after we got back. So but yeah, looking forward to.
What's Aspen like? Is it any snow?
It's not that. It's interesting. It's not that snowy. I've only been here twice, by the way.
Yeah.
Not that snowy, but it's just such a just peaceful, tranquil, beautiful town. I mean, I it's not that there's anything you're like blown away, like, oh my God, this is the craziest thing I've seen, but it's just so nice. That's just the word I use. It's just very, very nice.
Yeah.
And I can't see someone not liking it here. I don't think it's the kind of place someone could like, I don't like it. I don't see how that would be possible.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's get started. Let's talk about some baseball. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go. The award we brought up Cy Young. Give us some awards that you got. Like who you
it's
on?
interesting, Anthony. It's interesting, Anthony. I have so many baseball future bets. I don't have any on the award bets. Not one. I didn't find value in anything. The one bet I made, which is now I would not make. I shouldn't even say because I don't want anyone to bet it. But I took a shot on who have the most wins in the league. And George Kirby of Seattle. I love the Seattle pitchers. Anthony, he was 60-1, but he's battling an injury now. And I put that bet in before he got hurt. And those are such hard bets to win. But I did have Tariq Skubal last year at like 80-1, and it cashed.
Wow.
So I like Kirby this year, but you can't miss any starts, obviously, to win a bet like that. All my baseball bets this year, guys, were just basically division bets, over/under season win bets, and I have a lot of them. But again, a lot of them on the bets I made. These bets, Anthony and VG, came out like right after the season ended, and I have beaten the number substantially on most of them. So they're not the ones I loved. Some of the numbers have moved somewhat significantly, but there definitely are some things out there that I still think have some value.
Brad, if I remember correctly, you were big a little bit back ago on the Red Sox. I think, did you put a futures
I
on
nailed
the Red
that one.
Sox?
Yeah, I nailed. You were there. I put in that big bet. You were there with me. Yeah, I nailed that. I got like 40-1 to win the World Series, 20-1 to win the pennant, 7-1 to win the division. Now they're like 2-1 to win the division.
23-1
to win the World
Series.
Yeah, I mean, I got out ahead anticipating what was going to happen. I thought they were going to get honestly Garrett Crochet and a big bat. And that's exactly what happened. They got Garrett Crochet and a big bat. So
now you have them over win total?
I got over 81.5. It's now 86.5.
Wow, that's a big movement. Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, I mean, my portfolio in baseball, man, I have to. I'm pretty hard on myself. Even I have to smile, like, man, I did pretty good because I crushed these numbers, like destroyed.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't like to brag, but I did pretty good. But it's funny. A bet I still like out there, VG and Anthony, with the Red Sox. You could bet them to make the playoffs. It's funny, just even 2 weeks ago, they were minus 105. And I'm like, God, this is stealing. It's now up to minus, I think, 140-ish area. I still like it a lot. I think they're the best team in the American League. I think they're the best team in the American League. And I absolutely think they're going to make the playoffs. So,
yeah, I agree. I mean, the American League's weak.
American League is weak. You nailed it. National League is so much better. American League is weak. And I think the Red Sox are the best team in the weak American League, Anthony. And again, a little above even odds, they make the playoffs. Sure, I'll take that. Seven teams make the is it 7 teams or 6? I'm getting weight. So, it's 6 teams make the playoffs. To me, I cannot see a way that they are not one of the 6 teams that makes the playoffs in America. I can't see a way it's not. It doesn't happen.
I agree. I mean, I don't see it. I mean, there's no depth in the Central or the West, and the
There's
East
nothing
isn't even
there.
that
It's
good. I mean, the Yankees are overrated. I mean, Tampa's
that
all
was
right.
another one. I
Like,
got Yankees under 93.5. I think it's down to 87.5. And I got a little bit
yeah.
lucky.
I mean, Baltimore's
in
gonna
that
be
they-
good. That's about it.
I don't like Baltimore, by the way, was my biggest individual bet on their under. Do
Oh,
not
wow.
love Baltimore this year. No. Yeah, I do not love Baltimore.
their
I think
pitching is-
Baltimore is actually
You know,
Well, I'll tell you why I'm not a big Baltimore fan. They have a lot of good young prospects, but look, Jackson Holiday hasn't done anything yet. They lost Santander at 44 home runs last year. Not that he would have done it this year, but and actually their last 110 games last year, they played under 500. Who's their pitching staff?
yeah,
they
I
they
don't
had
like
two
their
good
pitching
starters,
staff.
Corbin Burns,
Yeah,
who's gone, and Grayson Rodriguez, who's gone, and Kyle Bradish, who's gone. Their pitching staff is below average. I got it opened at 92.5. I bet 92, 91, 90, 89, and 88. I bet that like 5 times. I think it's sitting at 87 now. I now Gunnar Henderson's hurt. I don't see it with Baltimore. That's why going the American League.
what's wrong
I think
with
Boston's a
how
really
long
good-
is he out for?
He is. It's funny, and he is a what do they call it when you strain? Oh my god, like one of those sports hernia things. I think.
Okay.
I think he is one of those things where he's out. He's or strained something, and he's out for at least a few weeks. But it's the same injury he's had multiple times. So I always say, like, I'm not a doctor, and they're hoping it comes back in a few weeks, but you don't know. And he's top 5 player in the AL, so that's a big loss losing him.
So they got Eflin Morton, who's 1,000 years old. Charlie Morton,
Japanese guy they got.
yeah,
He's not a Japanese guy.
Sugano.
And
They still have
Yeah.
Rodriguez.
he's out.
He's hurt for how long?
Oh, he's hurt bad. Yeah,
Really?
he's out for. I don't think he's going to pitch. If I had to set his over under for starts this year, I'd set it at
I'm just looking on
7.5.
MLB. Trevor
Yeah, he's-
and Trevor Rogers, who I don't really like Trevor
He had
Rogers.
an ERA of 6 last year.
He was great
I rest my
4
case.
years ago.
He was when he was the Marlins 4 years
Yeah.
ago.
I was thinner 4 years ago, VJ.
Yeah.
Hey, you got the
I
Orioles
had more
under,
hair 4 years ago.
You got Baltimore under 92 and a half?
No, 93.5, 92.5,
Wow.
91.5, 90.5,
Down to
89.5.
87 and a half now.
Yeah, I bet it 5 times.
Wow.
It's my biggest bet. It's
They
my
got
biggest
that
bet.
Cade Povich starting. Ugh.
I'd rather have Maury Povich starting.
Yeah. And that, yeah, I hate Dean Kremer.
You know what he is?
He
He's like a
stinks.
modern day Joe Blanton,
Yeah.
right? He's an innings eater.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, listen, I'm saying I don't love that team.
And even
I still-
this Japanese kid, he only had 111 strikeouts and 100.
Right. How's that going to translate? How's that going to translate? And again, now Baltimore, here's the thing. They have these young guys, but again, like Holiday, I just don't know. They have a good catching prospect, but I don't know when he's going to be called up. And they're taking,
They already have a great catcher.
right. No, but Rutschman, it's interesting. And look at Rutschman. Rutschman is a young guy, and I like him. By the way, I put him in my top 5 catchers. I think that's fair. But he had 249 last year with an OPS of like 710. That's, by the way, worse than JT Realmuto did. I mean, it's very okay, but he's treated because, again, sometimes
I
guys,
don't
their
know. I don't know
reputation-
why my memory of him is big. Like he's like a
Everyone's,
drives
not
and
just
runs.
you.
I agree.
not
know what
just
happened?
Saw a
you.
bunch of highlight
You,
films.
you know what happened? You're right. Like, first of all, you know your stuff, right? They tailed off big time. Like August, September, their lineup
They were
didn't even hit.
horrible.
They were on fire in the spring, like May, June, and then they started to tail off.
One of my betting partners, he went all in on this bet. They were at the time, I think, like 35-12, and he bet them to win 90 games, laying like a crazy price, like this bet can't lose, or the best team. And every single day, death taxes, he would complain how bad the Orioles were. They lost again. They lost again. I can't believe this team isn't even a 500 team. So I started following Baltimore because this guy was annoying me. I love him, but he was annoying me so much talking about the Orioles. But I love the guy, but he was such a big bet for him. So I was rooting for Baltimore every single day. And I'm like, man, yeah, they really are overrated based on what the market thinks they are. And then they lost injuries on top of it. They lost Bradish, they lost Grayson Rodriguez. Now they lose Corbin Burns. It's like they lost Santander, who had 44 home runs. You're like, it's not going to be easy for them to win 94
No.
games.
No.
And the number I opened at, and then 93, then 92, and even 88 right now when it's 87.5. 88 wins is a lot of wins.
I know.
It's a lot of wins.
No, it is.
And I just, That's still one of my favorite bets out there, guys.
Gunner's got an intercostal strain he's dealing
Yeah,
with.
the intercostal. But isn't that this? Is that like
What
similar
is
to
that? I
sports
don't know
hunter,
what
guys?
that is.
Was that an oblique? I don't even know.
Yeah, that's how I say. It's.
He could have a tough year because bro was so excited he got him in the second round of our fantasy draft. He's like, yeah, I can't believe I got Gunner second round. So it might be the kiss of death.
Well, again, you're getting a guy that's, again, I always say this, and you guys are smart guys. We're always, I don't care what anyone tells me. Anyone, you get any of your guests on, or any of your, unless it's the team doctor, or unless it's Gunnar Henderson himself, we're guessing how long he's out for. We're not him. We don't know how much pain he's in. We don't know truly how long this is going to take to heal. We're making educated guesses based on stuff you read in the media. It's an educated guess. And I'm not saying it can't be right, but I'm also saying is you don't know how bad it really is, and if he's really struggling with it, and if it's really going to linger all year. So to me, him quote unquote stealing him in round 2, maybe, or also he may have gotten the guy that's really going to be hurt all year and be disappointing.
It's the muscles located between the ribs, which is hurts for twisting.
Like trying to.
That's everything.
Yeah.
Oof,
that's like saying if you're not attracted to your wife and she's mean, well, hey, what good you have, right? You want, or you want that. That's everything. You're in that area.
Yeah, everything.
That's really like a strong part of your game. And if that's hurting Gunnar Henderson, again, I'm not a doctor, but I'm saying there's a chance that this isn't the Gunnar Henderson MVP season that we were expecting going into the year, guys.
All right. Will you have baseball props for us tomorrow and sides?
Oh, I already have some. Yeah, I already did some. If you want, I can give them to you today or I can give them to you tomorrow. Up to you.
Yeah, give us a couple. Give us a couple today.
I did Paul Skeens over 6.5 strikeouts against the Marlins. He went over that 2/3 the time. Now, again, I'll tell you guys real quick. I know you're probably up against
that number 6.5 and not 7.5?
Because of the number of innings. They don't expect him to go.
Anthony, it's funny you should say that. This is why I love talking to you. I got to tell you, I thought last year, I was looking at every single honor for opening day because like the innings pitch for these guys. I got to tell you, last year, and again, maybe I'm not, because I don't remember the years in the past as well as I should have. Last year, opening day, guys were pitching 6-7 innings. They were not lifting them after 5 innings, which was I was expecting. Did not happen.
How do I know? It's all about pitch count.
Right? And those guys were getting relatively a full turn. I was like, shucks, man. I had a lot of underbets and I lost. This year, I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'm overrating that first start thing. But again, Paul Skeens, even if he gets 5 innings, VG, Anthony, he can get there at 5 innings quite easily.
Oh, yeah.
And they always pitched him 100 innings.
Yeah.
This guy, Anthony, you remember, was one of my favorite guys last year. I believe he was 15-1 at home last year, over 5.5 strikeouts. I took plus $1.25. Michael King, over 5.5 strikeouts.
Yeah.
I don't get this. He's
Dude,
one
Michael
of the best
King
strikeout
is
pitchers.
a great pitcher. People, I
Give
don't
up
know
Juan
why
Soto,
they
he better
sleep
be.
on him. He's got great stuff.
Soto. He better be. Yeah, but they gave up Juan Soto. He better be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be because they gave up a great guy to get him. But he was terrific. He was absolutely terrific. 5.5. I don't get why that's so light. I really, really don't.
Yeah.
This one, and I always talk about showing my work, guys. This one, I'm not showing my work. It's more of, this is me watching a guy. You want to hear, I'm giving you a pick right now. NL Cy Young, Hunter Green.
Yeah.
I watched this kid. I
love Hunter Green. Yeah.
Before he got hurt at the end of last year, do you know he had the highest WAR of any pitcher? I think Hunter Green, I think he's going to be incredible. I bet over 6.5 strikeouts. Those were probably my 3 favorite prop bets so far. I did. Again,
I like the Reds. I like the Reds this year. I like their lineup. I love Hunter Green. I'm with you.
Anthony, that was my biggest division bet. Reds plus 650 to win the division. Still available, by the way.
Yeah.
Reds to win the division. Reds over 78.5. They're my biggest pro team. Baltimore is my biggest against. Cincinnati was my biggest on team.
Yeah, I love the Reds. I do. First of all, I love Ellie. I think Ellie's going to go wild.
What about getting the Terry Francona, guys? Yeah. I think that actually makes a difference. And you having a good atmosphere to be around. Yeah. Tito Francona, right up there, is the best manager in the last 20 years to me.
Well, our next guest, because our next guest is the great Charlie Manuel.
Hall of Famer, another one in my opinion. Charlie Manuel obviously was one of the nicest human. I had a chance to meet Charlie in one of the Philly camps. One of the nicest human beings you will ever meet on this planet.
He's
you
the greatest.
Meet a nicer person than him. He's just
the greatest baseball
gentleman.
Man.
He was incredible. Savant, and the success that he had with Cleveland and Philadelphia is I mean, almost unmatched, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at his, I don't think he ever had a bad year. He was just incredible, but it's just even by, again, to me, just a awesome human being. So, and always a wonderful guest. He always has great stories. I'm going to stick on and watch.
You got it, brother. Thank you, Brain. You're the best. Tomorrow,
Appreciate you guys.
We'll go over the card for tomorrow. The
Yes, sir.
Brain, of
Appreciate you
course,
guys.
brought to us by the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. He's it. All right. What a treat, because it's baseball season.
I think I went to sleep with a smile on my face when you told me he was coming on.
Yeah, the greatest thing in the world is when you get to talk baseball with the Skip. There he is, the great Charlie Manuel. Happy opening day, Skip.
I hear you, Anthony. I'm ready, man. Are you ready?
I'm always ready, man. I can't wait, buddy. I can't wait. Nothing better than to see your smiling face. In fact, lower the phone just a little bit so we get, there he is. Looking great, buddy. You're looking great, my man. It's fantastic. So what do you think, Skip? Like, what's your vibe? I know you'll be in DC tomorrow for the opener.
Well, yeah, I was in spring training, of course. I was with the club every day. They're ready. They came on in about the last 10, 12 games, and they're ready to play. And I really like our chances this season.
There's a million things to ask you about. How about let's start with Bohm and get your eye out on Bohm. What's your vibe on Bohm's approach coming this year?
I think he had 280 last year. I think he's still better than that. He's capable of hitting 300 and about 25 home runs. He had 15 homers last year, and I felt like that he was down. He struggled the second half of the season last year. He's going to be better this year.
Look at Skip gives the Bohm. Did you talk to him? Like a guy, what do you say to guys coming off of what he came off of, right? Like, I want to get in your brain for a second. And you got a kid that gets benched in the postseason, all right? What do you tell him to start the next year?
Yeah, well, basically, I want to be very positive with him, and I definitely would brag about to him about this first half he had, and the second half when he kind of slumped off. But at the same time, I would make sure that I would remind him that he's much better than what he was at hitting 280, and I just go from there. Really, I would kid him sometimes, things like that. But I would also leave him every day when I talk to him. I leave him with a positive thought.
It was amazing. Is like you played the mind game with guys. Like you got in their heads, and that, like, especially when it comes to hitting, because it can wrap you in a pretzel, that you keep it positive. Like when it's amazing. Like I listen to how you talk to players, and they love, like, to this day, man, these guys love you. And I think it's because of how positive that you make it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think when you get to know every guy on the team, especially all the hitters, that you definitely have to be positive. You can get on them in some ways and be hard on them, but you always leave them with a positive note.
Are you harder on them when they're actually doing well, like when they're in a little bit of a zone, to make sure that they kind of don't like slough off at all?
I always ask Anthony, when I come to the ballparks every day, I always talk to all my hitters, and what how's things going, and I'll talk to them about the things I want to see them to correct and things like that, or how they can get better. But I also tell them the good things they've done and the swings I like, and remind them of how they hit and their strong points of their hitting, and to look for good balls to hit, and get ahead in the count and hit the ball out front. That's how you hit. And most of my hitters, I tell them, I remind them every day about that. Every bat is, when some guy comes up to the plate, I've talked to him most of the time before he goes to the plate.
And so with this team, knowing what happened, right? Knowing how they were all tied up into a pretzel, right? Getting themselves out like against the Mets, that whole thing. What's Rob's overall message during the spring? And this is a veteran team, right? Like, so they're good. What's the whole messaging, you think?
His message is that we got to prove from last year. We had 95 wins last year, but we don't get complacent, and we can do better. Like, for instance, we hit 243 as a team last year. That's not good at all. I mean, our team should be hitting anywhere from 260, and that's to me is light. But they should hit anywhere from 260, 270 at least, and we would have scored more runs. I think we scored close to 800 runs or maybe more, but we could have even scored more if we hit. I know analytics don't say that batting average counts it, but Charlie Manuel says it is.
I love that. I love that. And I think that's what's interesting is that they saw the second most pitches. They were the second most patient team this spring training. I love that. I think that bodes well.
I think it's good. That's I would say that's definitely one of the big things that we need to do. And cut down our strikeouts and things like that. We can do it because we got the players to do it. And the 95 wins, that kind of tells you that we got a good team. But I say, I've always had a high expectation of our team. But this year, I think we are definitely better than those 95 wins, really.
Do you, when you look at individually, let's kind of go through it a little bit. We talked about Bohm. Turner obviously is the huge catalyst, right? Because he's going to be batting leadoff sometimes. He's a guy that could swipe 50 bags, that could set a tone. You believed in that. When that 08 team, God, during that run, when you had Victorino and Rollins and those guys, swiping bags and moving on the base paths, that makes a huge difference.
Exactly. Without a doubt, the more guys we get on base, that gives us more chances to run and stuff like that, and play situation baseball. And so therefore, like I used to tell Pat Gillick all the time. He'd say, we leave a lot of runners on base. I said, well, yeah, but we lead the league in runs scored. So, that's how you do it, really. So if we could improve our offense just a little bit more, that's going to really help us.
I love it. That's why you're the greatest. When Gillick says, we leave a lot of runners on base, you're like, yeah, we lead the league in runs scored, my man.
Exactly. Right.
All right. How about let's go to JT. JT's a big year for him, right? Contract year.
Yeah.
He's the guy. We were just talking to Matt Gelb. He said, "Listen, he wants to catch 120 games." How do you feel about JT?
I think he had a down year last year. I think he's better than what he did, and I look for him to be about a 275 to 298 hitter this year. And he's going to lock in more runs, and he's going to hit more home runs. I think he's going to have a great year.
How about Kepler? What did you see from Kepler in the spring? He had a big spring.
Kepler's got big power. Kepler, I talked to him this spring, and I try to put a Jimmy Thome stance on him, and he's hitting the ball good. Kevin Long's doing a good job with him. And things like that, and I think he is the one guy I think can have a big year, can have a big year with us. And the reason I say it, because the talent he has and also the players that's going to be around him.
Look at that. Kepler, give him the Jimmy Tony stance. I love it. I love it. How's Bryce doing?
Bryce is doing good. He's been hitting the ball good this spring, and he's in good spirits, and he's Bryce, and he's I of course I always think Bryce can even do better on what he does, and this could be a big year where I always see it's coming.
So, give me the Charlie pick. Who has the big year? Like, who's your pick? You have the great eye, right? So, give me the guy that has the big year that you're smelling it.
I think I like Castellanos,
Yeah.
and because he's really been working on his hitting. He's definitely he's got slow feet and quick hands at the plate. He's cut his swing some, and he's covered his plate cover some. And I think he's wanting to do good, and he's in a good spirits. But also, I pick Castellanos, and I'll stay with Harper.
Yeah. Bryce and Nick. I love Ja, move the phone down just a little bit. So we got I don't want to not see you. And
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, leave it there. Perfect. So let's go pitching. And the one guy, I'm dying to ask you this. Sanchez. We were talking about him. Sanchez is now touching 97, 98.
Right.
How does he get that velo up?
He's delivering, and as you talk to a hitter, you say he's timing. He's got good rhythm on the mount, and he's gotten stronger, and he's improved his pitching a lot because of the command of his pitches. He's very good, and I look for him to have a real good season for us.
Yeah, I mean, with him throwing 98, I mean, that's scary because Wheeler's Wheeler. He's your bulldog. He's your Halliday, right? Noah, right. All he is reliable and consistent and give you innings, right? You got Sanchez like that.
Right.
I mean, and then Luzardo's got a ridiculous arm.
Right. Sanchez got a great change up. People hadn't been really talking a lot about his change up, but he's got a good command of his change up, and it really makes his fastball much better.
Yeah. How about Luzardo? How's he look? Because his arm's live.
He's good. To me, I've seen him pitch about 2 or 3 times, and he's got really good stuff, and he showed command. And he fits good in a rotation. He's got a different arm slot than Sanchez or Junior has, and Suarez has, and I like all 3 of them in the rotation. We got 3 left-hand pitchers, different styles.
Yeah, like that's rare. You got 3 lefties that can throw hard. Are you kidding me? Like, that's impressive, man. How about the bullpen? What do you think of Romano?
I didn't get to see him enough. He's got a good arm, of course, but I did not get to really see him enough.
Yeah. But I guess Alvarado looked good. They were saying
great shape, and I look for him to, if he can command the strike zone better and keep the ball out of the middle of the plate, he's got a chance to be a great pitcher. We see that every year, but this might be the year when he's improved some.
I like that. I like it. I like it. This is the bat. You got to be fired up, Skip, like you always do, man. This is going to be a great year. What did you think of the kids? Did you get a chance to see Miller and Crawford?
Yes. Crawford's 21 years old. He's still a baby, but 2 or 3 years from now, he's going to be a man, and he's going to be real good. I can. He's easy to project. Crawford is going to be a good player. Miller's going to be a great player. Miller's got the size. He's built good, and he loves baseball, and he's going to work at it.
That's awesome. I love it.
Love to hear it.
There's something about the kids. Like we got. There's a kid from the Tigers that's from Delaware County. He's the shortstop, Kevin McGonigal. He took Nolan Yard the other day, Sunday. He's a lefty shortstop, and he took Nolan. He sat first pitch fastball, and he took him out. The kid, I love talking about these kids.
Yeah. He the guy hit the ball off Nolan the other day. He's going to be a good player.
He's from Delaware. He's from up here. He's from Delaware County. He went to Monsignor Bonner High School.
Yeah, good player. He's got a good future.
Yeah, we like that. So what's your schedule? First of all, you look great. You sound great. You look like you're ready for the season, man.
I'm ready. I'm always ready, Anthony. But my expectation is really high. But at the same time, if they hit somewhere in that, if they be good instead of great, they're still going to be good. That makes sense.
That's right. Well, give people a lesson. Because, listen, I feel like everybody's kind of like a little bummed out from last year, and they don't have the juice coming into this season.
Well, you know what? I talked to 3 group of people down there, and I would say in those groups, there's over 1,000 people, like for the three groups, and they were really up, ready for the season to start.
Good.
They were very up big on our team, really.
Well, and you can give people the lesson, because I hear people talking about the Dodgers, and I go, yeah, I mean, listen, the Dodgers are a great team without a doubt, but this is baseball.
Exactly.
You don't know what's going to happen come, October.
Right. Exactly. We don't lay down because somebody says somebody's better than we are, but because you got to prove it during the season. I think we can play with the Dodgers, and I think we can beat the Dodgers.
Beat the Dodgers. Beat LA.
Beat LA.
That's it, man. But you know what? You know what? I love the story you tell me that you would give a speech, and this was before every season. Like you get to spring training, and you would give a speech to the squad, and you would write it down. And do you remember telling me this about your speeches? Yeah. What was your favorite speech?
Huh?
What was your favorite speech that you would give the team?
I would give I would start out like I got everything written down, everything like that. After about 3 minutes of talking, I started screaming and telling them how good they are and how much I want to see them play and things like that. And I tell them, hey, look, I want to see Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley and Victorino run the bases. That's energy live, and I love to see that. And I tell them how they can hit, and I'll mention their names and everything like that. I won't miss.
What would you say about Ryan Howard? What would you say about Peace?
I call him a big piece, and things like that. And I build him up, and they start laughing and everything like that. And then we just go out and get it done.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. All right, here's what we're gonna do. A little game. All right, pretend that this is this team. All right, you're giving a speech to this team right now, the 2025 Phillies.
Right. Yeah, I would say I would just basically tell them I would go by last year's season, bring it up, and tell them about we won 95 games, and so we definitely, if anyone in the room don't think we can't win more, they should raise his hand or something like that, and I'll say so. Therefore, we can be up every day of the season. We come to the game and we play them one at a time. And we don't get ahead of ourselves, and we don't look back, and we play one day at a time.
I love it. I pretend like it's them. I may show them this. So we got Bryce, right? We got Schwarbombs.
Exactly.
Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the greatest, brother. God love you, man. I swear to God, God love you. You are you're a gift to our area, and I'm pumped up. You'll be here opening day on Monday, right, for the home opener.
Yeah, I actually really look forward to seeing you, and I'm gonna give you a big hug.
Yeah, buddy. Cannot wait, buddy. Cannot wait. We got dinner. Hey, we got a big tournament. We start off this weekend at Ripken for Massimo's 12U teme. So we got a big tourney this weekend.
That's good. I want to see your kid do some hitting, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We had a game the other day. He hit the fence, dead center. Right? Just started off. Right?
Good.
Top of the fence, got a double.
Hopefully I get to see him play a summer.
Oh, you're the greatest. Greg, VG, Charlie goes and he every year goes and sees the kids. The kids go wild.
They gotta go
over
crazy
him.
to see him.
And he loves it. He sits behind the cage, right?
Yeah.
Guys come up. Parents are coming up. He takes pictures with everybody. The kids go crazy. He talked to the kids.
Yeah, my mind would be blown as a kid.
Yeah, they're sweet and good. I actually pull them out, really pull for them, Anthony. I mean it.
I know you do. That's why you're the greatest, brother. God bless you a million times. You know, we love you, and we can't wait to see you up here. And we got to get you in the studio, and we'll do the whole thing again. Have a big Charlie day. All right.
That sounds good to me.
We love you. Give Missy our love. All right.
Sure will.
Love you, Skip.
Love you too.
There he is, the great Charlie Manuel.
Man, he looks and sounds great.
Does he sound great?
Yes.
He sounds great.
Yeah, man.
He's recovered beautifully.
Yeah.
God bless. I say it all the time. God bless him, man. He just is such a gift. His positive energy.
Yeah.
You know, it's about baseball. He loves the game. Like to me, I love people with passion for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got incredible passion for the game of baseball.
Yeah, just exudes it. And helps you with confidence because he believes that these old swinging aggressive veterans can dial it back a little bit and be a little more patient.
Yeah.
Because I'm worried about it, but if he's the hitting guru, if he thinks they can do it.
Well, they saw the second. Did you see this?
Yeah.
They were the second most patient team in all spring training.
So hopefully it's resonating.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, let's talk about some of our friends, shall we? Let's talk about Parks Casino. Because tomorrow, in fact, I'm going to be at Parks from 5 to 7.
All right. So you're going to see the end of the Phils.
Yes.
A little bit. Maybe,
and then leading into
leading into it. Yeah.
Leading into the a little college hoop action.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a 4:05 start, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
so I'll be doing play-by-play. I better make sure. Yeah. Hey, Andrew, make sure that we're set up to watch the game.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be set up.
Right. We got the big
turn maybe dial the volume on the human slot machines going if you're there this weekend.
I told them that already. Like, listen, we got to make sure that we're not, doing that.
Big fan of the human slot machine. We're just a little too close.
But during the show, we got to make sure that we do. And listen, the beauty, Andrew's already looking forward to the food.
Oh, you know, man,
sure
of course.
All right, you're ready to go.
Bringing a pillowcase for the food.
Can't get... How much your roommate must have loved you?
Oh, he did, yeah.
Well, here's the deal. Parks Casino, if you can't get there, again, we'll be there tomorrow, having a great time. It's a great place to go hang. All the acts, all the boxing, comedians, MMA, musical acts are all there. But if you can't get there, you got the Bet Parks Sportsbook online casino app. It's got you covered for tomorrow as we kick off again the Sweet 16 and baseball. What a sports day tomorrow is going to be. All right, so we're doing double duty tomorrow. Our normal show from 9 to 11 and then from 5 to 7. So we're going to have a double duty. Get ready for a big day with you, Andrew, tomorrow.
Love it.
All right, we cannot wait. And the Bet Parks app has you covered. So all your baseball, all of your Sweet 16 college basketball, You get you and the brain going at it again.
Yep. Brain and Trash Man. Add it tomorrow.
Who your
He's got BYU. I got Alabama. And that might be off tomorrow.
and then Friday you got Kentucky. You got Kentucky.
Yeah.
And he's got Tennessee.
Yep.
That's how it's working. All right, so check it out. The Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. In fact, new customers, if you're down in the first 24 hours, you get up to $1,000 casino bonus back. Don't forget, you got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, Michigan, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
They got a good daily boost today. The daily boost is on Schwarber to record 30 home runs or more. Normally minus 300. Today it's plus 100, even money.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's a good daily boost on Bet Parks today.
Wow, that's fantastic. Let's talk about Timeline. I tell you about this great supplement, Timeline. Man, I'm all about it. I'm all about the Timeline.
All about it.
Yeah, because what it does is it's got this MitoPure. All right.
Yep.
And what it does is it cleans out the cells in your body to help reverse age-related decline. All right. The benefits: strength, energy, endurance.
Good.
They have
All
done
good things.
15 plus years of research. They got 30 plus US patents for the Timeline. The cells in our body are the building blocks of life, and Timeline is the supplement that works with those cells to give you more energy, feel stronger during workouts, and preserve health and mobility as you start to age. All right. Again, it cleans out your mitochondria, your cells' battery packs.
Yeah, they needed some cleaning.
All right.
They get a little stagnant.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's exactly right. So right now, Timeline's giving you 10% off your order of MitoPure. Timeline.com/PHLY. Get that 10%. I'm telling you, you'll feel better. It's all about feeling better, man. And it'll help
Ain't
you.
that the truth?
Yeah.
Just energy, feeling
Look,
better.
my man Andrew right now is in a funk. Because what do you got, dude? We got to get you to Rothman, dude.
Double herniated discs.
Yeah. We're gonna have Rothman really dive into you.
Yeah.
All right.
into you.
He needs it. Yeah,
At
poor guy.
first.
The poor guy needs it.
Your neck and back pain stinks.
You're horrible. All right. This portion of the program is brought to you by Rite Aid, riteaid.com/PHLY. Baldy will join us in a little while. He was at Pro Day yesterday in Miami.
Yes, he
He
was.
saw Cam Ward.
Yeah, he spent a few days in Miami. I think the pro day was actually Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baldy finds, you can
Yeah.
write off a couple days in Miami. Why not?
Well, he's got the house in Lauderdale, get the apartment, the
Yeah.
condo in Lauderdale. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Giants and the Russell Wilson signing.
Does that mean Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers?
Yeah.
Is that pretty much the
Yeah,
right in the
so
wall?
apparently Rodgers is in agreement with the Steelers, and he's going to make the announcements first week of April on a live Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
Sold out, like, big arena show they're doing.
Yeah.
So I think he's holding Aaron Rodgers holding out for that.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course he is. Hey, God bless. That's how I look at it. All right. Let's go with a couple nugs. What do you got?
Well, first of all, I
going
want
on?
to give a shout out to my Penn Quakers. I think Fran McCaffrey's a good hiring.
I think Pat McClune's going to tell you that tomorrow.
Yeah, of
He's
course.
excited
He's
over
a
that.
Quaker himself, McCaffrey. Some big time program experience. I think it's good. Our boy Michkov. This is interesting. Michkov's got the most points on 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Whoever you want to put up against 5-on-5, he's been a quite productive young man.
Dude, he's a great player, dude.
He's phenomenal.
Imagine when they get a real defenseman to help out in the power play. You get a quarterback and
Yeah.
defenseman that can quarterback the power play.
Dude, there's
Couple
a
more
video I got to
pieces.
show you of him giving a lesson. It's back in Russia, talking about when he's receiving the puck, he already knows what he's doing. He surveys the ice as the puck's coming to him, so he knows his reaction, because he's like, if I wait till I get the puck to figure out what I'm doing, I'm screwed, basically. And you can see that because players aren't ready when he gets the puck to them.
And it's funny it's funny you said that, because I see it, especially on the power play. He does not wait.
Mm-mm.
He either like he knows exactly where you can see it.
And it's fascinating hearing this like 18-year-old kid in Russia explaining his process.
He's a prodigy, man.
Yeah. People are a little down, they say. Chad, people are like, not really into the tournament. Well, surprise, surprise. The tournament's got 9.4 million viewers is the average.
On that, I said, because it was there last year and the year before that.
Yeah.
I sense, I do sense it being back. I felt like it was bigger this year. You know, we were at Parks Casino and it was mobbed. I mean, it was packed.
Yep.
I think
City bars were packed.
I think people loved it. I think people enjoyed it. The tournament's always been a first weekend thing, and then it dwindles. It's weird because it dwindles in the Sweet 16. There's a lot of interest, but it dwindles, and then it dwindles even more. And then you have the Final Four, and you get a little bit of a build back.
Yeah. So apparently we should don't go to any stills because people are saying we don't get they lose all the audio when we go to stills too. So where were we? Oh, St. Francis. They were just in the tournament. They lost in the play-in game, right? They're moving from D1 to D3. And they're just like, we can't compete with the NIL, so let's just be D3 powerhouses, focus on student athletes. And we may see this more often than not.
I think you're going to see a lot of D3. You know what would be interesting? If the D3 becomes what used to be the D1. I mean, you're not going to have obviously the big-time NCAA tournaments and stuff,
right.
But there's going to be a secondary tournament that's going to have a lot of good players that are going to focus on scholarships. I think you'll see scholarships to D3. I think you'll see a much different approach.
Yeah, I think you're going to. Also in the college thing, it's interesting. Iowa has reportedly paid $5 million NIL for a wrestler, a junior wrestler, $5 million.
Wow.
Also interesting, Penn State landed one of the top recruits for nothing. It's a Japanese wrestler who's from a wealthy family who doesn't need any money. And the Penn State program's so good, he wants to play it. He wants to wrestle at Penn State.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great story. Penn State wrestling is an amazing story.
It's
Penn State and Iowa they're just a death matches.
They are, but Penn State's like, Iowa's not even really close to them
I
right
know.
now. It's been a crazy run they've been on.
It was funny because Iowa was always like was Iowa and Missouri used to be good. Penn State has just lapped the field, man.
Stevens?
Yeah.
He was like 160-0 as a wrestler.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is. Great, incredible stuff.
Well, the Giants, I mean, we kind of tease it with Russ, but what a room.
We got Baldy. So let's dive into it because he's busy making the rounds for pro days. The one, the only, two legends today, Charlie and Baldy. Two lovable legends. Here he is, Baldy.
Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Baldy. Oh, he likes meats and football.
Oh, Baldy. There he is. From the Pro Day Man.
I'm a little ticked off that I missed your interview with Charlie, man. I would love to. Charlie's just one of the great sports, baseball managers, just one of the great men in sports. And we're lucky we had him here in Philly.
So he loves you too, Baldy. And we're going to, in fact, he's coming up. We're going to go to dinner. So let me know what your schedule is.
Well, yeah. Have you picked out a day yet? I'd love to go.
Yeah, next week. He just said, Anthony, let me know. I'll let you know whatever. We'll go grab a steak.
I should be back in town like Monday and Tuesday, just kind of grinding film. I'd love to get out of the film room and go to dinner with you guys.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. He'll Absolutely love it. He loves you. I told him that you.
How's he doing? Is physically?
Dude,
is
he
good?
looks great. Like
Oh,
he's
great.
recovered from this stroke. He looks
Oh, good.
awesome. Sounds good. He really
Good.
feels like himself.
Oh, that's good to hear. Great to hear.
You know what he does? So my little one also plays baseball, right?
Yeah.
And he plays travel baseball. So I get him every year. He goes to a tournament, and he sits there. Last year it was blazing hot. He was behind home plate. I bought a bunch of waters for him, made sure to hydrate him.
Yeah.
And he was he's watching, loves it, standing behind home plate, watching the game, talking to the kids, giving them how great is that, Baldy?
But that's the genesis, honestly, of why you become a great manager. It's just love of the game. Like you can't really stop talking about it, teaching it, and there's so many different fascinations of the game because it constantly is evolving in some ways. So it's just great to hear a guy that just loves the game, talking to the game to kids like that. I mean, it's the essence.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same with you. Yeah, I got to get you during training camp. When you have a moment where you're up here, I'm going to get you to the kids for
I'd love
for practice.
I'd love to.
You speaking to the kids, like when you spoke to Temple, when you speak to these colleges, it's so great to give back. And these kids, it means something. You got a ton of knowledge that is great to pass on to them.
Like I was at this, I was at the Miami Pro Day on Monday. So it was a lot more than just Cam Ward, he's a fascinating kid, really good kid. But like a lot of Mario Cristobal is an amazing coach.
Yeah.
Amazing coach. Really is. Like I went to practice on Tuesday. I haven't seen any practice at any level like that in 15 years. I haven't seen anything like it. But he's an old school approach. But like these kids came up to me, they followed me and they just wanted some insight. But, and fortunately I'd watched enough Miami games, so I kind of knew who they were and what they did. But you just never know when you're put in that position of speaking to kids at any level, what's going to connect. Like you can't really think about that. Like something might, it might not. You don't know. Maybe they've heard it all before, but you never know when something is just going to connect with these kids because it happened to me when I was growing up. Things that just connected and then just stayed with you. I learned things in junior college that stayed with me all the way through college, all the way to the pros. But you just never know where it's going to come from.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome thing. All right. So before we get to, because I'm curious to see what Miami and we'll talk about Cam Ward. We'll talk about their prospects. But Giants yesterday signed Russell Wilson. And so it's Russell Wilson and Jameis as their quarterbacks.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that they informed Jameis that when they signed Russell, they're signing him to be the starter, just from a contract standpoint. It's a 1-year deal. It's $10.5 guaranteed $1 million. It's not much money. They're paying Jameis $4 million a year. But what it did yesterday was they've got some competence at the quarterback position. You can debate where Russell is in his career. Like he's not an all-pro. He's not anything like that. But he's competent, and Jameis has always been a double agent. But he's a good leader and a good guy. They can go in the quarterback room, and you can put game plans together with these two guys. But I think the bigger thing is it takes him out of the pressure of trying to get, like if Cam Ward is the prohibitive #1 pick to Tennessee, and I don't know what Cleveland's going to do, but I think it takes the pressure off of them having to go get Shedeur Sanders. And I don't think they want to be in that position, whether they think he's worthy of it or not. They just don't want to be in that position where they got to go either trade up to 2 to make sure they get him. So I think it takes them out of that game. And if they want to sit there and take Abdul Carter or take, Travis Hunter, they have that ability to do it right now.
Yeah, it's fascinating because, I still wonder whether or not Tennessee might go Abdul Carter and maybe Cam, without a doubt, is the top quarterback. Does Tennessee trade that pick? Is Cleveland go get Cam Ward?
Well, if they do that, if they trade that pick, it'd be one of the greatest bluffs of all time. Because I got to tell you, every single person, including 2 members of their social media team,
Wow.
a writer from the Tennessean,
Yeah.
like the contingency they had there on Monday at this Cam Ward Pro Day. And listen, I was there at noon. Cam Ward was still talking to people after his pro day to Tennessee at 8 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Like it was an all-day affair. So it might, they might very well fall in love, and I'm sure they're doing their diligence. And I'll be at Shador's pro day on April 4th in Boulder. I'm sure they'll have a contingency there, but I don't think it's to bluff anybody. I think they feel like Cam Ward is their guy. Remember, like they've got Will Levis there, but they didn't draft Will Levis. So it makes it really easy to move on from him. And they're going to move on from him. But I really feel like that's going to be their guy right now. I'd be shocked a month from now if it's anything but Cam Ward.
Do you think, it's interesting because you look at them and you look at Ward. What did Ward show you? What did you think of him? Like, it's a pro day, so it is what it is. But you do get a sense and a vibe off of a kid.
He is. He has an amazing leadership personality. Like I introduced myself to him at noon, and I'd never met him before, and he was really good. And then he went out with his quarterback coach on he had a 60-play script, and he'd been rehearsing it since January, but he went through all the footwork and all the calls at 12:30 for 45 minutes. So I watched that for 45 minutes. And then all his teammates, and there was like 17 of them, were all busy getting measured, doing jumps, timing, at every position. Jalen Rivers, offensive lineman, doing offensive line drills, whatever. He was there for all of those guys. Then you're seeing, Kellen Moore was there, Brian Callahan was there, different general managers from the league, Joe Shane from the Giants. Like he's mingling with all those guys. They're coming up and introducing him. And so he's talking to all those people. He's supporting all of his teammates. And then he has this throwing session from 5:30 to 6:15. And there's a couple throws that got away from him. And immediately, like, it's reload. Let's do it again. I don't like it. That's not how this throw is supposed to go. Like, so then I'm talking to some of his receivers, Jaylen Brown, Xavier Restrepo. I'm like, so what's he like? He goes, well, what's weird, Baldy, is we do this every day after practice. Like we're making a big deal out of this out here because all the scouts are here. But we did this at the end of every practice. We'd have a script like this. So the guy is, and just talking, like, for example, they have this guy, a safety, I think he's got real skills, this kid, Michelle Powell. It's interesting. He played at Washington last year. So he went against Michael Penix Jr. every day in practice. Now he transfers here to Miami and he goes up against Cam Ward every day in practice. So I had to go talk to the kid. I go, so, bounce these kids up. And he goes like, he liked both of them. He liked Michael Penix, big arm, much better athlete than anybody thought, which we do. Ran the 4.4s. But the one thing he said about Cam was like how he elevated everybody in that organization day one. The demand, how you practice, how we get better. And he was very, very vocal about a lot of that stuff. And this is a program that honestly, before Mario Cristobal got there, they had one drafted player 3 years ago. I mean, they were dead in the water. This is Miami Hurricane. They had there was nobody that came to their pro day. They had 300 people there on Monday. So a big part of it is Cam Ward. And he could have entered the draft. In fact, he was ready to go to the draft out of Washington State and decided to come back. And I think he really helped himself. And so I think you get a guy, and I went and then talked to him when he was talking to some of the offensive linemen and talked to him at the end of his throwing session. Like, he's just a very smooth guy. Like, Jalen Hurts is smooth. He reminds me of Jalen a little bit. I don't know if he's as athletic as Jalen, but he's got the arm strength that he does. He can really uncork the ball. Like, he's got really good fast twitch to him. Like, it's funny, you're talking about Charlie Manuel. Like, he can just snap like a hitch route like turning a double play. You know, like he's got that sort of, the ball just gets uncorked. You know, he's got real power from his lower, and he's always on balance. So he was throwing balls from underneath the center, play action passes, rolling out to his left, rolling to his right. Like he really put on a pretty good show, I thought.
How accurate is he?
He's good. He's good. I don't know if he's CJ Stroud accurate, but he's right there. He's right there with that.
Yeah, he seems like he's up here when it comes to any kind of quarterback prospect. It's Cam, and then there's a huge drop off.
Yeah, we'll see. Jackson Dart, he had 3 years at Mississippi.
Yeah,
he's a really talented player.
I think he's second. You and I went through it. I think Jackson Dart, to me, is I would draft him above Shador.
Well, I think we're going to get 3 guys in the first round. I don't know where Jackson Dart's. I think Shador's going to get taken. Like, I'm anxious to see him throw and be around him and make my own assertions about his personality, leadership. I came away with Cam Ward going, like, this guy's got leadership ability. Like, he's very, very comfortable with who he is. And then just how easygoing he is with his teammates, how he blends in with everybody. He's really there to support everyone. But I think Jackson Dart's got real talent, man. He's going up against these SEC schools for 3 years, putting up big numbers. I think he had 40 starts at Mississippi after he transferred in. So, I think he's got, I think somebody, for example, let's just say the Giants take Travis Hunter at number 3. Let's just say they do. I think they got the 34th pick. I can see them trading back into the first round to go get, because they're going to draft a quarterback. But I can see them going to draft Jackson Dart and not putting any pressure on him to start. Let him learn from Jameis and, from Russell, just how to do it, how to prepare, and putting him in a position to put whether Joe Shane and, Brian Dable are there after this year or not, putting the Giants in pretty good position, maybe quarterback-wise.
Well, listen, they did pretty well with a quarterback from Mississippi before. So,
He sure did. And who knows? I mean, Archie's coming out in 2 years. I think he's going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Just watching that, he started 2 games at Texas this year, and just watching him run and take off with the ball, that's not Archie or Peyton. That's not, that's not Peyton.
No. He's a great athlete. I love Art. Art's
great athlete.
Art's is a star. Wait, you can just see it. He does. He's got everything. He's going to be. He could be the greatest Manning ever, which says a lot. But we'll see. But I'm with you. I like Dart coming from a pro offense, right? He had he knows how to have good receivers. I like the way he handles himself.
Yeah.
So you got Friday, Penn State.
So I'm excited. I'm the only guy from the NFL Network going there. So I'm sitting there. I'm interviewing Abdul. I just talked to Drew Rosenhaus. He's, Abdul's his client. I'm good friends with Drew. So I'm sitting down with Abdul. I'm sitting down with Ty Warren. I'm sitting down with James, Coach Franklin. They've got about 15 guys that are working out. I'm going to go literally through each guy today and just get some film on them and just get familiar with them. But it's going to be a big day for these guys. Literally, it starts at 8 a.m. with some measurements and things like that. I think I'm going to interview these guys at 1. It's going to be an all-day affair. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm really pretty pumped up. I'm going to come back here and do some work and then head out to Colorado. And, I got Marshall Falk out there. You got Sapp, you got Dion. So it's going to be a big show out there. Obviously, with Shador and with Travis Hunter, we're going to see, after sitting down with Cam Ward, I'm going to get face to face with probably 5 of the biggest names in this whole draft over the next, 5 days or so.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it's going to be incredible. So you're going to go to Penn State. So you're in Penn State Friday, and then
Penn State Friday. I'm coming back to Miami. I got to do something here. Then I'm probably going to go up to NFL Films and just grind, just get into that third round
Yeah.
and fourth round of the draft with those players. Like I've got a whole list of guys I want to study. I just want to go through them one after another. Just bang them out probably all day Monday and Tuesday, and then head out to Colorado, like on Wednesday.
You know what's funny is when you talk about grinding out mid-round guys, like 2 through 4, 5. Do you remember? I know exactly. There was a running back draft, and you loved Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Nobody he was on anybody's radar, and you loved Aaron Jones. And I remember this because we watched film of him. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, watch this kid. Watch this kid. Watch this kid. And you called it. There's been a number of guys like that, but I got to give you props.
Right. Honestly, because there's a couple of things. One, that's the same draft as Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, right? I mean, it was a big running back draft. And then Aaron Jones went in the 5th round. And what happened was he came out at UTEP, Texas El Paso, and I was doing a game, Texas El Paso, Texas Tech in Lubbock, and he broke his ankle in the game, and he was done for the year. That was his senior year. But before he broke his ankle, he busted off a run of like 80 yards against Texas Tech. And I'll never forget it. And his brother, he had a twin brother, and he was a linebacker. And I just kept it. It's just one of those things you remember, and to this day, out of that draft, I think he's got over 60 touchdowns running. And he's still the star of Minnesota. Now, you can say McCaffrey's a better running back, or you could say Kamara, but he's still at the top of his game. We see McCaffrey have complete off years. Last year, off year. 1 year in Carolina, off year. Like nothing. Major injuries. Kamara looks like he's fallen off a cliff. The guy that's still going is Showtime Jones. And I'll never forget this.
Showtime Jones.
I love it.
But he's a Texas kid. He's I'm good friends with him now, but he's out of El Paso, right? He's proud of that. His mother and father still live in El Paso. But he's a Texas kid that grew up a Cowboy fan. In fact, the area code in El Paso is 915. He still goes by the 915. Proud of it. But 3 years ago, he came to play the Cowboys. And to this day, the Cowboys came into existence in 1960. And to this day, no running back has ever gone into Texas Stadium in whatever that is now, 60 years, and put up 4 touchdown runs. And when he was with Green Bay, he ran 4 touchdowns in the end zone. Nobody has ever done that to the Cowboys.
Wow.
That was his shining moment in this whole business. That's the team he grew up watching. There was no Texans, there was no Oilers, there was the Cowboys. If you're in El Paso, you're watching Tony Dorsett or Emmitt Smith growing up, and he put up 4 touchdown runs that day. He'll still tell you it's his best day in the NFL ever.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I just when I think about those middle round guys, I remember going into the draft, and you identified him as a real talent that would have a chance to win and a chance to be a stud, and he was. All right, you got Colorado. Is there any other pro days you got going on?
I think it's going to end in Colorado, but they told me don't go booking any vacations. We may have another one for you.
Okay, all right, good. Because I'm just curious. Anything else? The Eagles signed. Who was the kid? That's why I paused for a second. They just signed the kid from Miami, a guy he's a veteran, it's 10-year veteran, to be a swing tackle.
Kendall Lamb.
That's it.
Yeah, Kendall Lamb. He's been in Cleveland.
Is he their Fred Johnson?
Fred Johnson came in, and Fred Johnson had been bouncing around Cincinnati, different players, different places. People gave up on him. The guy he signed in Jacksonville. He's going to be the starting left tackle. I told Fred this year. I did a couple breakdowns on him, so he came up to me. He was really appreciative of it. I go, look, just go sign a good deal, Fred. You're going to leave here. You're not going to stay. You earned yourself a starting role. And Kendall Lamb has started. He's backed up. He can, he's not really a guard. He's strictly a tackle. But it's a good sign. He can play.
Okay.
If something happens to Malata, he can go in there and play. You know, and he'll learn from Stout. In fact, there was a great video. I don't know if you saw it this week, but Lane Johnson posted a video of him at Oklahoma with Stout working him out. Like he went to Oklahoma to work him out. Like you can see Lane still's got hair, you know, I mean, he's baby faced, all that stuff. Like there was a workout on video that Lane posted of Stout working him out. And Lane, like Stout will get a hold of Kendall Lamb and he won't promise him anything. But he's going to grind him pretty hard. But I would say right now that's a pretty good signing. Guy's got some experience like Fred did. And Mulata missed 4 games last year. And literally, he went in there and he didn't skip a beat. And that's what will happen if Kendall gets to go in there for any reason.
Yeah, you can never know how much stock to put in these Pro Football Focus ratings, but they ranked Lamb 33rd out of 85 offensive tackles last year. So he played all right last year when he was in there.
Well, he got a chance to play a lot at Miami last year because there were some injuries up front, which they always have. Teron Armstead's a great player, but he can't stay healthy. So he went in there for him and played pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
They started 7 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
go ahead.
I was just gonna. If you've done football, I just want to ask Baldy.
Yeah.
So like, Baldy, ballpark food. Baseball's coming. What do you eat at the ballpark?
Well, I grew up as a vendor for the Minnesota Twins, right? So I lied about my age and I sold hot dogs. And the thing about being a worker at the Minnesota Twins, Rod Carew, Harmon Killebrew, those guys, was there was always extra hot dogs at the end of the day. So I could literally eat 6 hot dogs after I finished selling hot dogs or pops. Minnesota, it's a pop, it's not a soda. So I would, they had my choice, peanuts, hot dogs, sodas. So ballpark Franks, like to this day, it might be the best food group there is. You give me hot mustard in ballpark Franks, I'm eating 3 or 4 of them at any game.
They are great.
Like
a ballpark dog.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. Like, I need the brown mustard. I don't like the yellow mustard.
I don't like, I need the hot mustard, cuz.
Yeah.
And there's something about, like, I know how they boil all these hot dogs. They put it in the bun gets a little soggy, right? But there's something about that makes it more flavorful. The bun takes on the flavor of the hot dog.
Yes.
And I don't care what ballpark I'm in. Like, I love hot dogs. I grew up eating hot dogs. I still eat hot dogs. I don't care what anybody says about a hot dog. It's a great meal. It just is. Like, so ballpark Franks, I know at the bank, they got all these different food groups there. I appreciate that, but I'm eating hot dogs.
Hey, do you see this thing the Mets got going on? They give you a helmet with 12 hot dogs for $12.99. You in on that?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to eat all 12, but I'll share them with some people.
That's a great deal.
That's an unbelievable deal.
12 dogs
That's
for
a great
$12.99.
deal.
And you get the little helmet.
Oh, that's
And you get the
awesome.
That's a good deal. That's pretty good. That should get copied by other teams out there because, like, I know I'd be in on it. If I was going out there with 3, I had a buddy of mine here that's the voice last night. That's the voice of the Pirates, like sideline reporter for the Pirates. Like, I think he wants to go to Marlins opening day here. Anyways, but he's got a baseball book coming out. But that's a great deal, man. I haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah. Brother, you're the greatest. That's why you're the greatest. Because you do everything, and then you hit me with a little ballpark Franks.
Yeah. Awesome. Like, I mean, I don't have to think about it. Like, I can still taste it right now. Honestly, like, my brother was working with me, and we'd go out there. We'd take as many extra hot dogs, and we would just eat them. We would hitchhike home anyways after the game. We'd just eat them like there on the way to going out to the I-35 to hitch home, And so that was the deal.
You got Hoss's Steakhouse out in State College, Pennsylvania treasure. Check that out. There's like 20 different locations. It's like a Pennsylvania chain, Hoss's Steakhouse.
HOSS?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's where I'm going.
Yep.
Thank you. I'm going there. Let's see. I'm flying there tomorrow, so I'll be there Thursday. I'll be there tomorrow night for sure.
Nice.
Hoss, love it. My brother.
I'll take a picture in Hoss's and I'll post it out.
Yeah.
I'll do that. That's all I need. That's all I need right there.
That's perfect. Listen, safe trip. I'll text you later today for schedules.
Yeah.
All right?
All right, sounds good, cuz.
All right.
I'll give Coach Franklin your best, too.
Thanks, brother. You're the best.
All right, man.
We
You
love
guys.
you. Baldy. Baldy.
I forgot he was a
Oh,
vendor.
it's overtime. Overtime. OT. You always go OT.
I forgot he was a vendor.
Yeah, he was.
That picture was AI. It was AI
It's
generated.
AI generated?
It's
I
not
thought
a-
someone said it's not confirmed.
It's not a real deal.
Oh, bummer.
You can
Wait, that's
tell-
not real, the deal?
You can tell in the picture if you look at it close enough. You can look at the Mets logo, and there's like it's deformed.
Oh, that's not real?
Bummer.
Yeah, if you look at the Mets logo, it's really deformed. That's not actually the logo.
It looks like
Oh,
it's
So
upside down.
that's an AI photo.
So,
Internet wins again.
so that's not a deal? Why would people post fake deals?
They always try to get you.
They got it. They got me. They got me.
Yeah, but who like what? I don't know. This fake stuff.
AI, man.
These fakes, man. I don't even understand.
I got a real treat for you for back in the day, and I can assure you there's no I involved in this one.
All right.
Yes.
Let's roll with it, baby. Back.
Did you can we play that video? That back in the day stuff? We're going back. We're going back. We're going back in the day with Rite Aid. Yeah. Now, have you ever seen the movie Napoleon Dynamite?
You know what? I'm not sure I
Darn
have.
it. He's got an
I
old.
mean, know about it, but
He's got like an older, washed up high school football Uncle Rico, who's always like zipping a ball at him.
Yeah. I know about Uncle
This is
Rico.
Ron Jaworski back in the day on the left and Uncle Rico on the right.
Oh my God. That's unbelievable.
It's crazy looking, the haircut and the mustache.
Can I add to this?
Yes,
The,
please.
the bald guy from the White Lotus. He's Uncle
He's
Rico.
Uncle Rico, yes.
Wait.
the-
Fred? What was his name?
killer.
Greg or Jerry?
Greg.
Yeah.
Greg is Uncle Rico?
Yep. He's
From
Uncle
White Lotus?
He's Uncle Rico, yeah.
With the young girlfriend?
With the young girlfriend, yeah. The French
You
Canadian.
would like Uncle Rico. He's always zipping a ball at Napoleon.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I was doing that yesterday around the office.
I know.
I was
a little
whipping
mini
a-
ball.
I found this little mini ball, and I was, you and I were having a catch with it. And then I was starting
Yeah.
I can't just not. I mean, come on, we're going to have
You
some
can't just
fun.
hang around. You can't just hang around and talk. You got to zip things at each other.
Yeah, wasn't
You
that
got to
normal?
spin it at each other.
It's normal. I saw Vince over there. I was like, I want to peg Vince.
Whoa.
Well, with the football. See, you guys have all
I
this
didn't
stuff.
say anything. You said it.
Well, I meant with the football. Come on, man. With this, he's laughing. You start laughing. I can't say anything without you guys going in the gutter. Terrible. Look, he's cracking up over there. See where your minds are at? Disgrace. My God. We got baseball tomorrow. Larry Boa. Boa Damas just got back to me.
Oh.
So Boa Damas is good for tomorrow.
in?
He's in.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yes.
There's nothing better than starting a season off with Bo Adamas.
Yes, let me text him back now. Yes, Bo Adamas. We love Bo Adamas. All right.
We do.
Perfect. We'll figure out what time.
Yeah, I was like, maybe we'll do a little. You want to do a little quiz, like a little opening day?
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes of quizzes question. We'll see if we get good times. The quiz master to come up.
Yeah,
with
I
some
would
stuff.
love it.
All right.
I would love it. Or maybe, and then the other thing is, my seasons. We should make that. I want you to go deeper into it.
Well, today I'm gonna do some research on this Black
All right.
Friday event.
Research into Black Friday. I could give you chapter and verse.
I know you can. That's your gift.
We want to do. I want to get nuts up like to baseball. I want to do the 100 things we love about baseball.
Okay. Like how do we break that down? Like 5 a day, and then we rank
I
them
don't
all.
know. Whatever. I just
101
wanna
days is a
do-
little overwhelming for me. A little over 101 day. I mean, in 2 hours, 5 a day when we rank them.
5.
10.
All right. Whatever. We'll think about it. That's going to do it for us out of overtime. Dude, you're a killjoy.
What are you talking about? I'm all in on 100 things in baseball. I just want to do it right. I want to think about it, let it breathe.
All right,
Put
all
some
right.
time into
All
it.
right. All right. We got a busy day tomorrow, you and I.
I'm excited about that. They do have the organ they started the last year or two at the ballpark. But it's a recording. Someone doesn't record it, but they do modern music on the organ.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's
Cool.
good stuff.
I like
I'm
it.
curious to see what songs they bust out this year.
That's good. 10 o'clock tomorrow from Boa.
Awesome.
Boa Damas.
Awesome.
On opening day, we're going to have a great day. Everybody, listen, thanks for hanging with us. We love you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Opening day. Yeah.
We all silly like the mayor.